and it would be Jesse Water on the brain. Apparently, hold on one second. I could get rid of the. There you go. Glassy-eyed, serious. Like, I don't know if that's crying or liquor. We don't know. By the way, hit the like again because it'll probably starts a new stream if you haven't already. This is Jesse Waters. As of today, corporate America is now solidly pro-Trump, which is fucking hilarious because when have they not been solidly pro-Trump, ultimately? Yeah, and thanks for the hype train. No, we're not in a loop. Okay, you need to think real hard about doing accents in this brave new world. Believe me, I've thought about it quite a bit, and I think I believe personally that any like in your lineage, if you have any group in your lineage and it's over 8%, you're allowed to use the fucking accent all you want to. Now, this is Jesse Waters. As of today, corporate America, and this is the big seller. When you've just sold yourself as the working class hero, jerking around in a fucking McDonald's, apron and all that shit, and then you want to tell everybody now I'm the dude of corporate America. Jesse Waters.
We're now entering
using those wrestling graphics. Why would your news show need wrestling graphics? I mean, at least I'm being silly on purpose. Look at that. Doesn't that look like WWE? What do you think? I'm getting a distinct, this is all bullshit, fake controversy, that the good guy versus bad guy thing might be pre-decided. Maybe that's what they're telling us.
We're now entering the days of thunder. That's how insiders.
Yeah, days of thunder, all right.
Are describing the second Trump term, the greatest comeback in political history.
Wait. Who's describing it?
We're now entering the days of thunder. That's how insiders are describing this.
Insiders? Where? Inside is fucking colon?
Second Trump term. The greatest comeback in political history is just getting started.
Well, then, I guess, real quick, I would just tap the brakes on the whole greatest comeback then in the history. I mean, granted, after how you've treated Trump, you may end up with cum on your back, Jesse, but that's not how the rest of us will experience these next 4 years.
A little while ago, corporate America saw Trump as toxic, but now MAGA is the hottest brand in town.
Please sell this to me. MAGA is the shit.
Just this week, Trump received
Jesus God. Who is that?
The highest award a president can get. The first ever presidential commemorative can of Diet Coke.
That's a bottle. It's a bottle, and I don't care.
Get ready for McDonald's Big Mac and Chief. Companies want to be associated with Trump, and they want you to know it.
Or they need him to know it because they're worried about how vindictive and psychotic he is, and so they figure a little bit of ass kissing will go a long way, so they're doing it early, and then it won't matter.
The stigma of a Trump donation, which was out there to some degree 8 years ago, is no longer there. Who knows what's going to happen 2 months from now, but for
today, up and down, corporate America is solidly pro-Trump. Again, fucking Politico. Now, you don't get much more mainstream than CNN and Politico when it comes to this stuff, and yet Fox News can quote from them like it's the fucking Bible.
Today, up and down, corporate America is solidly pro-Trump.
Yeah, because they're hoping the tax cut comes. And then after it passes, they can go back to sucking up to their customers.
The biggest brands in America. Look at these.
The biggest brands in America. Toyota, big American brand. Ford, okay. GM, sure. Part of the big three, two of the big three that Trump didn't want to save in 2008. Pfizer, absolutely. Shevitz. The Pfizer's Uber. Yeah, clearly Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Facebook. Okay.
It's right here. Each donated $1 million large.
Yeah, so what?
One lobbyist said everyone's trying to kiss the ring and curry favor. We're hopeful this new...
Because it hasn't been so obvious that it would work in other administrations. You know why you don't do this with Biden? Because you can't buy yourself at a fucking seat at the table or a favor that way. You couldn't even do it with fucking Bush 1 or Bush 2 for that matter. Everybody knows that if you show up with Trump and you throw $1 million his way, he's going to throw favors your way that will make you more money. So of course they're doing it, but it's not like they actually care.
Administration will be friendlier than the previous one.
Uh-huh. Everyone's trying to kiss the ring, curry favor with the new administration. We're hopeful this new administration will be friendlier than the previous one. Yes, Donald Trump will be friendlier to polluters and fraudsters.
Trump's not running for re-election, so he can use the money for anything from his library to making sure Republicans keep the House. He could even use some of it to pay off Kamala's debt, if he's so inclined.
Or his own.
One Trump advisor told Axios, the money is just pouring in at Mar-a-Lago. Trump doesn't have to lift a finger. Everyone's coming to him.
Yeah, it sounds like a criminal enterprise.
Sure, Trump will cash the check, but that doesn't mean he owes you anything.
Yeah, sure.
The president was overheard telling an executive this, quote, you guys made this amount of money last year, and you're going to make so much more now because of me. But when I needed you, where the F were you? You weren't with me, and maybe you were with her.
Yeah, still a paranoid asshole. I hope these corporations get every dime worth.
A big part of Trump's second term is making sure America's on
Can you imagine showing up to kiss this asshole's ring and then him saying that to you and going, all right, I guess we're going to have to undercut him now.
Cutting edge. 5 tech titans are getting positions of honor on Trump's inauguration stage.
Why is Musk way over? I guess it's left or right and they think it's good or whatever, but why Bezos dead center? Waters, you got Amazon stock? What's happening?
Musk, Zuckerberg, Bezos, TikTok.
TikTok CEO.
And the biggest name in AI, Sam Altman. One official said, I think the message it sends is, first, the importance of free speech, and then that these are all huge job creators in this country, and they're going to be a big part of where this president goes in the second term.
No. These guys all know they want to be at the front end of all this, of the tech growth that's coming. And part of that will be military contracts. Whichever one of them gets the military contract for their AI to either share their version of it with the military or build one for the military will be the single biggest contract that the U.S. government gives out. It'll be bigger than the entirety of the F-35 or even, our super carriers.
These guys all used to be in Biden's corner. Now they're America's first. Or
they just go wherever the president is because they know that's where the power is. Maybe they haven't realized anything about Trump. They just know better, and they just go where the money is for them. Unless you're trying to tell me that all these folks, especially the CEO of TikTok, has suddenly become pro-MAGA. They want to get rid of all these immigrants, and they want to, make sure women don't have the right to choose, and they want the fucking Bible in schools and the 10 Commandments in front of every school, and they want every kid to, when they go off to school on their first day, to be handed a AR-15 with a fully loaded magazine of hollow points and a Bible. Once you put the Bible in your shirt, and if you get shot, the bullet will stop it right on the verse you need to read the most.
4 years ago, the Democratic Party had the White House, it had the Senate, it had the House, it had the popular vote, and it had Silicon Valley on its side. Over the past 4 years, the Democratic Party has lost the House, lost the Senate, lost the White House, lost the popular vote, and now has lost Silicon Valley, which means the billionaires are on the other side of the table.
Well, it might be that the billionaires decided they were on the other side of the table, and that's one of the reasons why the Democrats lost, because they weren't getting as much from them as they wanted, where they knew Trump would be transactional.
Biden's pretty bitter about the tech turncoats. Listen.
I want to warn the country of some things that give me great concern. This is a dangerous concentration, and that's a dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a very few ultra-wealthy people. And the dangerous consequences if their abuse of power is left unchecked. Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy.
The big guy has a point about how powerful big tech is. They crush their competition. They can.
Yeah, you don't care, though. I mean, look, Biden has come out against it. That means you have to be for it. Shut the fuck up, caterpillar head.
Censor speech and use their deep pockets and influence to sway elections. We can't blindly trust them because they can switch right back. But why would Biden wait until his farewell address to warn us about them?
Because it's grown, and AI just came online in the last 2 years in a major way, and it wasn't the same when he took office. That's new, that there's new information, and that new information has expanded into an even more powerful, limited group of people. You didn't know who the fuck Sam Altman was 2 years ago. Did you, Jesse? You didn't know. You didn't give a fuck.
If Kamala won, he wouldn't have warned us about anything. Biden doesn't care about a tech
She would have.
oligarchy. He doesn't even know what it means. But
He knows precisely what it means, asshole.
he does understand.
That's an old man not knowing the meaning of words dig that they do that's lazy all the fucking time. Oligarchy is one of those old words. And so you can skip all the words that everybody knows, especially that have been used in political circles for a long time. If you're going to do and I don't want to give this asshole any advice, but here's the thing, he'll take it. Jesse Waters will take my advice. You know why? Because he'll shit on CNN and Politico and the Washington Post and the New York Times and Vanity Fair, and then he'll use their articles to make any point he wants whenever it's convenient. So fuck him. But using old words and saying he doesn't know what oligarchy means is dumb. Pick a new word. He doesn't even know what a large language model is, right? That idea. He probably thinks machine learning is how you teach somebody to use a turret lathe. I don't know, whatever. The point I'm trying to make is he might not know because he's old what the new shit is. Never mind. That just only bugs me, doesn't it? Just me, right?
Stand revenge. Democrats had big tech in their pocket since the Obama years, using them to cancel Trump, Deep Six the laptop, and buy off the battlegrounds.
What laptop?
You weren't even allowed to crack Fauci jokes on their platforms. But after Biden...
Yeah, you were. What Fauci joke got someone bounced? And also, what's a joke about saying that he should be skinned alive on the White House lawn or something like that? Like, is that just kind of your wry, dry sense of humor, Jesse?
Bombed at the debate, and they cut off donations and opened the door for Pelosi to plunge the knife. Are these guys loyal? Are they legit?
Who cares? They're now on Trump's side, and he's just got to live with them. And they're all inside. Now, you may think that these guys were favoring Democrats, but Elon Musk is setting up a fucking cot in the Oval, motherfucker.
Or do they just want to be in bed with the winning team?
Yes, they just want to be in bed with the winning team.
Musk has a little more street cred than the others because
he won't leave?
He stuck his
because he does ketamine at Mar-a-Lago?
Neck out when there was risk. But I don't know about the rest of this crew. Maybe they're libertarians, maybe they're libs, maybe they're imperialists. What do I know?
It doesn't matter. As long as the money goes in the right direction, I don't care.
But I do know Biden wants blood. He's declaring a war on the tech industrial complex and using it as a rallying cry for the new resistance. He's telling his party to ditch DEI and wage class warfare against the tech giants.
Okay, play that for me.
I almost saw this speech as an attempt to...
You almost saw the speech as an attempt...
wrestle back the mantle of populism from the Republicans. Donald Trump has run a populist campaign, and that's a lot. He's the outsider. And what Joe Biden last night did was quite interesting. Almost try to reclaim populism for the Democratic Party.
Spending a decade.
Sorry, where was the whole ditch DEI and do class warfare against the tech giants?
Calling Trump Hitler blew up in the Democrats' faces. They lost their base, donors, and the plot.
The Democrats have come to the end of a 9-year messaging.
Oh, this is Tim Murtaugh. This is the pussy that goes after terror all the time. The right? He's the like the weenie dude on that only throws shit around on Twitter because he's afraid to go anywhere else.
Program during which they woke up every single day and told America and the world that Donald Trump was a bad guy because he's an authoritarian, he's a racist, he's a sexual predator, he's a fascist, he's all these horrible things that they say about him. And what was the end result? He won. He got elected to the presidency again. This has got to be regarded as the greatest communication failure in.
No, because Kamala Harris, again, got an enormous number of votes, second only to Joe Biden. The margin's razor thin. He just was able to capture his audience and bullshit some other people using a giant machine of people who were hell-bent on convincing everybody that he's not really those things. We will fucking see. But here's the thing. If he's not all those things, MAGA's going to be pissed. And if he is all those things, I expect that you will cover for him.
The history of world politics, a 9-year campaign that failed.
So Biden's trying to rebrand Democrats as a party for the people. But actions speak louder than words.
You got 3 people on top, Mr. Musk, Mr. Bezos, and Mr. Zuckerberg, who are now worth almost $1 trillion. Would you agree with President Biden, who last night stated, and I quote, "An oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that threatens our entire democracy"?
The 3 billionaires who you listed that all made the money themselves. Mr. Musk came to the country.
Oh, this, by the way, for those of you who don't know, Besant used to work for Soros, is gay, married, and has 2 children. Just enjoy maggots freaking out about this. But he's on our side, but he's gay, but he's an
immigrant.
Forget how they made their money. Do you think that when so few people have so much wealth and so much economic and political power that is an oligarchic form of society?
Well, I would note that President Biden gave the Presidential Medal of Freedom to 2 people who I think would qualify for his oligarchs.
Biden gave the Medal of Freedom to George Soros and Mike Bloomberg. He only likes the billionaires who work for him.
No, I think both of these guys are billionaires, but they're nowhere near the level of billions and control that you see, especially around things like Twitter or the Washington Post, that Bezos, Musk, and Zuckerberg have. Bloomberg has Bloomberg as a website and a TV show, but it's mostly about Wall Street, narrow audience. Soros, through the Open Society Foundation, donates to a bunch of things, but he doesn't snatch it back, and he's never paid me a dime. Supposedly we were all going to get our Soros checks, allegedly, right? That was what everybody's saying. Like Soros was paying us to say the things that were saying. That never happened. Whereas we now know the Russians through Tenet Media were paying a lot of these social media influencers that are on par viewership with what Jesse gets.
And Democrats use mob rule to bully these CEOs to their side. If you said what Democrats didn't want to hear, you're canceled. Even
what do we don't want to hear? Just what we don't want to hear? I mean, there's a lot of things I don't want to hear. Wave jazz, a lot of times. I don't want to hear it. It's okay sometimes, but most of the time, no.
If it's the truth, you're canceled. But that's over now. It's hot speech winter. CEOs can say what they want and support whoever they want without getting whacked. And they don't have to pretend to like DEI.
Well, that depends on your, and it kind of always did, on who owns parts of the company. Because that's, again, if you're a private company versus a publicly traded company, the rules are different.
Anymore. Look at these blue chip companies ditching DEI. A few years ago, if you didn't have a diversity officer or tampons in the men's room, your company would get boycotted.
Jesus, fuck you, dude.
Now you get dinner with the president.
Also, no, they didn't. Nobody got boycotted for not having a DEI officer. They had DEI officers to try and cut down on the things that were getting them boycotted for by, shit their CEO said, basically an extension to the HR office.
And Trump's a talker.
He is world-class on real estate and on communications. And those are
world-class, no class.
Sort of his foundational skills.
What? Why? Did that guy just spit on you? Why are you sitting back like this? What is this? Are you trying to catch?
And those are, he's world-class on both, which is like probably the first person in the world to be world-class on both of those things, right? The real estate industry is not historically known for its great communicators.
Right, so you don't have to be, and he's not. It's just a bunch of bullshitters and salespeople. Also, HGTV, anybody?
Here you've got somebody who does both of those things incredibly well.
47.
Yeah, an example, please.
Speaks to something inside successful competitive men. They like what he does, and they like that he says what he wants.
They like his 3 wives, and the thing about fucking his daughter is he's fine with it, and if you tell him his daughter's a piece of ass, he'll say yes. They love that about him. Most of the time, you can't go up to a guy with any self-respect and talk about his daughter like she's a fucking hunk of meat right to his fucking face. But they like it about Trump.
And they like his drive and his finesse when there's an obstacle.
His finesse? You mean where he gives up and walks away?
And when you see a man survive a gunshot and pop back up, that's respect. Men want to be around men like that.
Well, again, what kind of men are we talking about? Because it sounds like just a bunch of suck-ups and sycophants.
And now they're not intimidated by their HR departments. They're the boss. But at the end of the day...
Weren't you just telling us at the beginning that they're just trying to get close to power and money and that Biden's warning us about it, but he might be right?
All these CEOs really care about is their bottom line.
Right, so they don't really give a fuck that he's a man's man or that he got his ear nicked by a piece of glass that flew off his teleprompter when one of his rally goers was shot by a dude firing from a fucking tin roof.
Banks are seeing big profits because companies are optimistic about the economy.
Banks? The fuck? You think loaning is up?
CEOs all over the planet are looking to finance big ticket investments here in America.
Yeah, they signed on to them during the infrastructure bill and the CHIPS Act.
It's good news for everyone.
Yeah, none of these are deals that Trump made.
Now, for Trump to modernize the country and shred Biden's legacy, he's going to need corporate America on his side.
Right. Yes. They're going to have to come in here and go, you know what? We don't need all these chip factories. Fuck that. And we got to stop building roads and bridges and laying out rural broadband because fuck these rednecks out in the middle of nowhere.
If we're going to fight trade wars, we're going to have to reindustrialize.
Yeah, but that's not going to be jobs. That's going to be automation. That's what Elon Musk is for.
If we're going to capitalize on AI, we're going to need to produce much more energy here at home.
Yeah, but that's not oil and gas. That's nuclear.
And we're going to need young American workers to step up and fight for the American dream.
Yeah, you lazy fucks. Why are you just letting it go by?
So we're cautiously optimistic about big tech's newfound loyalty.
Are you?
Saying all the right things, but it's early. These people might just go where the wind blows.
Might?
And if they want our trust, they have to earn it. Because we can always bust up these big monopolies if they stomp all over our constitutional rights again.
No, you can't. And as a matter of fact, they're giving him money to guarantee he won't.
Click here.
Fuck you. No. It's kind of amazing that they're like these guys don't know. We've seen them before be like sore winners. This is a fairly normal thing, but none of them actually know whether any of this is going to work out.